There's a family out in Lancaster who lost 4 to 5 of their younger generations through a useless murder. Someone came into their home. Now, I'm not sure if it was someone they knew or if someone just happened upon the house. Irregardless, they lost their life, and it was totally unnecessary. There was a young lady hiding in the closet, a 16-year-old, who happened to escape being murdered. But 4 of her family members were killed on this evening. It happened about a week ago here in Lancaster, California. I am sure that her family never want to remember it, although they can't help it. But surely this day in history will always be an absolutely horrendous, horrifying, sad, regretful day to them. This is the same for the Native Americans whose family, whose tribe, whose generations were slaughtered, burned alive, bamboozled out of their land, fooled into believing that people wanted to make acquaintances with them when the Americas were discovered, said to have been discovered by Christopher Columbus. They even throw us a little crumb when they say, oh, there was a black man on the boat who actually discovered America. But that doesn't make it any better. In fact, the Native Americans who were here before us, before we were, before our ancestors were brought on the slave ships, they were here. Their land was taken. They consider today a day of mourning. While many of us are happy and having a great time with our family members, they are remembering, like that family I mentioned earlier in the video, they are remembering how their family were killed, were murdered, slaughtered, land snatched, stolen by people that, strong-armed them. These people who took the land, they were said to have been Christ believers. In fact, they were praising the Most High God in their victory over these people. Although it wasn't a fair war, they were the victors. And as a result, they began to celebrate all the looting that they did, all the graves that they dug up, all the victuals and property that they took from the celebrations they had of this victory. Other states began to join in, and before you know it, this day was made a national holiday. This is us today, many of us celebrating Thanksgiving. Now, I say this to say, I know a great deal of people who profess to believe in Christ, profess Christians, which, again, these people that strong-arm the indigenous people were said to be the indigenous individuals here, the Native Americans. And the more and more thanking God for their victory. Had it been our families who were slaughtered or murdered, today would not be a celebratory day for us. And so we just disregard these people who, had the experience of being related to these people that were treated in such a fashion. And I just think we, even if you are celebrating it today, you should at least take a moment or two and maybe say a prayer for healing for them, for those left behind, that look at us, in celebrating this day. Because again, if it was our family, we definitely would not celebrate it. In fact, I kind of think it to be rather selfish of us because we're so caught up in traditions of men. And as I said, I know that today, so many Christians are celebrating this day when us believers in Christ are told to come into the Most High God's courts with thanksgiving. I'm just hoping that we can give a little consideration to what they're going through. I believe that if we, not so much as boycotted this day, but refrain from celebrating it, the forefathers of those who did this heinous act, they would reconsider, celebrating this day because they know that it's wrong. Falling into the delusion of it being a day for Thanksgiving for the things that you have. Because truthfully, each and every day that we wake up under the Most High God's grace should be a thankful day. We should be thankful for Him giving us another day. We should be thankful for our families that woke up with us. We should be thankful for our elderly ones that have passed in their sleep or, from a ripe old age. But really to be celebrating a day that they're mourning for their loved ones, it just shows how either ignorant we are or how careless we are, or just how lost we are as a people. Because truthfully, had this been one of your loved ones, you definitely would not celebrate. Had this been a handful or two, a basketful of your loved ones, you would not celebrate it. The Father says not to keep traditions of men. Just about every single holiday we celebrate is of pagan roots, but this one is of all-out murder. So even if it doesn't stem from paganism, it stems from something that the Most High did not orchestrate. It comes from deceitfulness. So anyway, I really hope this enlightens you. I really hope this helps you to push in the future to come out of Babylon, to come out of men-made traditions, especially proclaiming to be a Christian, especially to come out of traditions of men. Because I just don't believe that we're giving the right Thanksgiving, especially when it's not biblical. I definitely hope this helped you to not love the things of the world, to live here but not be of here. Blessings to you and your family.